Hi there, I'm Vincent Boss and I provide dating and self-improvement advice. And in today's podcast, we're going to be discussing broke no contact. Listen to this. I provide audio coaching for breakup recovery, trying to get an ex back, attracting someone new, and life coaching. Visit www.dateme.tips for more details. Please check your spam and junk folders if you are expecting an email from me. So now let's get back into today's podcast, and today we are discussing broke no contact. Listen to this. So if you have been dumped and want to try to get your ex back, you have likely heard of a no contact rule. But what if you've tried no contact and broken it? In today's podcast, I'll be discussing 3 points to consider if you broke no contact. So let's get straight into this, and point number 1 is the past is the past. So if you're listening to today's podcast and you are that dumpee who tried to implement my version of a no contact rule, but unfortunately you couldn't manage it, unfortunately for whatever reason, you broke no contact. You're probably listening to this and you're probably feeling quite worried, quite concerned. Maybe you're feeling ashamed that you couldn't maintain my version of a no contact rule. But I'm here to tell you that the past is the past and we need to draw a line in the sand, and you certainly shouldn't be feeling ashamed. You certainly shouldn't be beating yourself up. This is a very hard challenge to maintain. And additional to this, it's important to realise that there is no 100% guaranteed way to get your ex back. Nothing works 100% of the time, and nothing fails 100% of the time. I will give you my advice based on many, many years of research, based on many, many years of experience, research, and therefore I can look at the probability and the likelihood of what is most likely to help your cause and what is most likely to be unhelpful. And I do believe that my version of a no contact rule will give you that best chance of success, but I can't promise you it will get you success. And I can't promise you, if you don't follow my advice, that you won't get success. Okay, because this is a situation which is fluid, it's evolving, it is dependent on your relationship, your breakup and your aftermath. It is not something which can be pinpointed precisely, as this is definitely going to help you. But what I do try to get across is, from my many years of research, what is most likely to give you that best chance of success. And I do believe that implementing my version of a no contact rule is just that. But with me saying that it can't be guaranteed, this is a great reason why you shouldn't be beating yourself up, because there's no guarantee that implementing the rule is going to get your ex back, and there's no guarantee that not implementing the rule is not going to get your ex back. So, although I believe it's going to give you that best chance of success, we don't know the outcome for certain. And if you are beating yourself up, if you are feeling ashamed, don't be doing so. Because not only is it very, very hard to maintain, there is no guarantee that it will work in your favour. However, I do strongly believe that from the years of research that I've done, for the experiences I've had myself, that I do believe that it does increase your chance somewhat significantly if you implement my version of a no contact rule. So if you have broken it, this isn't a time to beat yourself up. This isn't a time to feel ashamed. This isn't the time to be thinking, what on earth can I be doing now? It's now a moment to think about what's happened, reflect on it, draw a line in the sand, and realise the past is the past. We can't alter the past. There is no such thing as a time machine yet, unfortunately. And if there was, I think we would all be using it on a daily basis to go back and to alter things. But there isn't right now. So all we can do is move forward from this point. All we can do is forgive ourselves if we feel we've made a mistake, or if we feel we haven't done what we wanted to do. You've got to forgive yourself. You've got to move forward. You've got to believe that today is a new day. Now, the sun will always rise after darkness, and we need to realise and recognise that today is a new day and it brings new possibility. This is a day where we can start again. This is a day where we can really focus on doing our thing and living our life to the full. Because whatever happened yesterday is done. It's gone. Forgive yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't let it play on your mind. Tomorrow is another day. Today is something we're experiencing right now, and yesterday is gone. So please remember, the past is the past. So now let's get into point number 2 and the second point of today's podcast about broke no contact. Listen to this. And point number 2 is, what are the consequences? So as I was saying in point number 1, there is no guarantee that if you were to implement my version of a no contact rule, that you will definitely get your ex back. And if you break my version of a no contact rule, that you definitely can't get your ex back. And in fact, I would go as far to say is that if you've broken no contact, maybe once, maybe even twice, it is probably very unlikely to affect your long-term chances at all. Because I don't know if I'm aware of anybody who has gone through a perfect breakup. I don't think I know anybody at all who has proceeded after being dumped in a way which is exactly as somebody would write down on a tick sheet, on a check sheet. I just don't think it is feasibly possible. We're human beings. Breakups are very emotional. This is not something which comes easy. We are very likely to be making mistakes when we look back on things in hindsight. So, in my opinion, when we discuss what are the consequences, I think it depends somewhat on exactly what you did and how, and also how often. But generally speaking, if you broke no contact once, maybe twice, it's probably not going to affect your long-term chances of getting your ex back. Now, if you broke no contact lots and lots and lots of times, or if you broke no contact in a way which was really negative and really destructive, then maybe this is going to have a deeper, more serious consequence in the future. But ultimately, we don't know for certain. And I obviously don't know your unique specific circumstances. And this might be one of the reasons why you may want to consider my audio coaching service, where you can speak one-on-one about your unique circumstances, because we can discuss everything in depth, and I can give you my viewpoint on where you are right now, depending on what has happened, and what you should be doing moving forward to increase your chance of success. If you're interested in my audio coaching service, then please go to my website, www.dateme.tips, for more information about how I can become your coach and your teammate by speaking one-on-one with you from my audio coaching service. But if we consider the ultimate consequences of breaking no contact, I would say, is it ideal? No. Although we can't guarantee you'll get your ex back if you use no contact, we can't guarantee that you won't get your ex back if you never use no contact. What I can definitely say is there is certainly an increased likelihood of you getting your ex back if you implement my version of a rule. So therefore, the more often you break my version of a rule, the more difficult potentially the future will be. So when we consider the consequences, if you broke no contact once or twice, if it wasn't too serious, if it didn't cause too much damage, if it didn't cause too much drama, then maybe, and quite possibly, it's not going to affect your overall chances of success too badly. But if you've never really implemented no contact, or you broke it consistently, or maybe you've broken it only maybe once, but it was really, really horrific in how you did it, then probably and unfortunately it has negatively affected your chances moving forward. I would say in general, when you break no contact, you have to recognize that your ex needs to start regrowing romantic emotional attraction from that point, because if you reach out to them, this is going to allow your ex to feel relieved, to allow your ex to think, well, my ex is in the background, I don't have to worry, I'm not going to be missing them as much because they're still in my life. These are the reasons why I believe breaking no contact is not going to help you particularly in the moment, because it really stops that romantic emotional attraction from regrowing again. Will it affect your long-term chances? As I said, maybe not if it was just a couple of misdemeanors, but depending on exactly what happened, maybe this has really stalled your ex regrown romantic emotional attraction. I would suggest that if you have implemented my version of a rule and maybe you're a month in and you break no contact, then quite possibly you've got to consider it as you're starting again. And by starting again, your ex is going to have to regrow that month's worth of attraction to get to that similar point to the moment of where you broke no contact. But again, if you want to speak with me one-on-one about this and we can really understand your specifics, then we can discuss this via my audio coaching service. So now let's get into point number 3 and the final point of today's podcast about broke no contact. Listen to this. And point number 3 is start again. So as I said at the end of point number 2, we need to be starting again. This is the moment where, as I said in point number 1, let's consider the past as the past. Let's draw a line in the sand. And now we're moving forward at a point where we must start again. And the journey begins once more. And I would suggest you need to be keeping busy. Keeping busy is a great way for you to be focusing your mind on things other than your ex. The more you think of your ex, the more likelihood it is that you're going to break no contact. So what do I suggest you do? Well, keeping busy is key. Exercising, living your life in a positive way where you make new connections, and spending time with your friends and family are wonderful ways to take your mind off your ex. I would also suggest that you implement pattern interrupters, which are things which can break your mindset pattern if you're thinking of your ex too deeply. I can suggest many pattern interrupters after speaking with you one-on-one to decide exactly what might work best for you in your regards of trying to take your mind off your ex. But the key to no contact is keeping busy. The key to no contact is focusing on yourself and self-improvement. The key to no contact is understanding that this is for you and not just trying to get your ex back. Today's podcast has all been about no contact and connected to your ex, but let's be real about this. Implementing my version of a no contact rule is for you. It's going to help you whether you get your ex back or not. It's going to help you whether you even want your ex back or not. No contact is to allow you to reset, to grow and become a version 2.0 of yourself, to reflect, to understand and to prosper as a new, improved and exciting version of yourself who can reach for the stars and get the goals you've always dreamed of. So when we try and transfer the thought of no contact being about your ex and instead being about you, we can be more motivated, more self-motivated in how to move forward and focus on ourselves rather than our ex. Because if we realize it's for us, then that is when we can focus on us. If we think it's about getting our ex back, we might just be thinking about our ex all the time. But keep busy, speak to friends, speak to family, stay motivated, exercise, do all these things and more to take your mind off your ex, focus on yourself, become a better person. And if you want advice and support about what you can do, and maybe you need some ideas for pattern interrupters to take your mind off your ex, again, my audio coaching service could be for you. Stay positive, move forward, and good luck. If you believe that this podcast has helped you, then please consider buying me a coffee. The link to do so is in the description.